streamlined it a little bit. So this is Mike with BENEFITPlus, and as I go through and explain this first slide, which comes across as a little bit hokey, but it is true. Judo is all about using your opponent's strengths and weaknesses against themselves. And what we're doing is very specifically using some of the mandates from the Affordable Care Act to you and your customers' best interest. And it's really as simple as that. One of the biggest mandates is the medical loss ratio mandate. And on small groups, they now have to have 80 cents of every premium dollar going towards patient care. And before the Affordable Care Act, traditional stop loss ran around 60 and fully insured ran around 67 to 70. Now, with this mandate, it falsely pushes the fully insured products up to 80 and 85. So right out of the gate, you have a product that has less risk to the employer, more coverage, and just because of politics diddling in it, it has a cheaper price than it is really the case. Right now, with the, and I'm going to turn that ding off actually. So,
entry and exit chimes are off.
Okay, so right now with the fully insured marketplace as it is, you have a statistic that bears a lot of force on what we can do, the synergy of it, and that is 64% of people that are in health plans are not using $500 of their benefits. So we have a huge opportunity to save money at the employer level, and that's just strictly premiums that are going out don't need to be. So again, why would you want to pay for something that you're not using? And it doesn't matter who your competition is. Very few of them out there are thinking enough outside the box and doing something other than here's the menu list of what Blue Cross and Coventry and Aetna and Assurant have for the fully insured benefit level that you're asking for. All we're doing is coming in and giving them the benefits that they want, but we're doing it in a different way that saves significant dollars. We're talking $500 to $3,000 per employee per year. I thought of this driving home the other day, but it's really true. Paying for fully insured policy to cover all your benefits, it really is like buying milk at the convenience store. You just wouldn't do that on a regular basis. Okay, so this is a new thing I learned about this skinny meeting. I'm going to send out a poll, and there's a few of us out there. And let's see here, start voting. The question on the table is, how many of you have a current account that you're the incumbent broker on, that you have an HRA in place? And we have a pretty good spread. 2/3 have, and 33%, 1/3 has not so far. But that's great. I'm playing with the new toy. That's all it is. So what BENEFITPlus is a plan that helps take these two worlds and maintain the Affordable Care Act compliance and merge them. And the two worlds I'm talking about is self-funded and fully insured. What we do is we're incorporating the low cost of self-funded, but we're keeping it under a fully insured policy, so we have the low risk there. And it looks kind of like this. Before I get to that picture, I have some advantages that are very distinct. Let's say your employer has a $1,000 deductible PTO plan in place. That's getting to be an extremely high benefit, where 5 years ago he would have been considered a little bit of a cheapskate. It's amazing how that goes. But benefits are all about golden handcuffs. The way I think about benefits are, if you're an employer, you have a lot of time and money invested in your employees, training them how to do this specific job for you. And if they have nothing to lose by moving across the street and working for your competitor for $1 an hour raise, you've got a whole lot bigger cost factor in your employees and training them and retaining them. And that's what benefits is all about as far as I'm concerned. It's something to keep that loyalty there. If the employers, and I've heard a lot of them saying that this is their plan, the heck with it, we'll just let their employees go to the exchange and we'll just deal with it after the fact. Well, that's lunacy, because if the government is the reason they have their health insurance, you've lost that ability to have something for the employee to lose if they move down the street to work for the competitor. We also, because we're controlling costs so well, we're helping you take control of the balance sheet, that bottom line for your employer. If you're projecting a $20,000 or $30,000 saving, and you arrive at the end of the year with that number in the bank for them, all of a sudden that key man employee policy, that from a life insurance policy that pays 100% commission as opposed to a 4 or 5% commission on a group health, you've just done some significant things to help yourself and your client at the same time. And again, typically we're saving $500 to $3,000, and it's normally on the high side of that per employee per year. But that's just for easy math for you. So I think I'm going too fast, possibly. That should be my question. Am I going too fast? But the second polling question is, if we can do what we claim as far as the BENEFITPlus, is this something that you would be interested in trying in one of your groups? And keep trucking along here. So this is pretty simple. Think of it like color by numbers. We're taking a very complex thing, an HRA stamp, and a lot of people just shy away because they don't want to ever look dumb in front of their customers. And we're helping you manage that and look good doing it. It's a four-step process after the sale when we're implementing and how it functions out in the field. The employee goes to the doctor, they give their ID card, whether it's from Assurant Health or Blue Cross or whatever. And they tell the doctor I have a $20 copay, they pay their $20, they're done. The doctor bills the insurance company. The insurance company applies network discounts, they adjudicate the claim, they send out an EOB. The explanation of benefits goes to the employee and, or should I say the member, it's their family member or something, and the TPA, and that goes out concurrently. So now the third-party administrator is making this all happen in the background, and they're going to adjudicate the claim on their level and say, okay, the employee paid $20 copay, and it was $150 at the doctor's office, and they take $130 out of the plan's account because it's sitting in a bank account. It's not in the HRA yet, and then they pay it through the HRA to the provider. And we've just had a very seamless thing happen. We take, in this slide here, I actually put this in this morning. HRAs have a bad reputation in the field, and in my experience, there's three main reasons. That is, one, we're relying on the employees to float the loan to the plan, if you will. They might have a $200 deductible on paper, but they're doing this underneath traditionally a $25,000 specific deductible or whatever, and they've got to float the entire cost of the MRI and then get reimbursed and go pay the provider. Well, that's a huge burden on somebody who's making minimum wage, living paycheck to paycheck. And employers don't like that. Secondly, I have the same, talking, not looking at the slide. Secondly, which is number one on the slide, is the reliance of an employee to pay the claim, to file the claim. So they go off and they have their MRI, and they get their EOB that says it was a $2,500 procedure and the discounts and all of that. Now they have to actually turn around and send that in to the third-party administrator to let them know that a claim happened to get that reimbursement. That's a lot to ask from somebody who is not management. They don't do a lot of paperwork, what have you. It's just a big burden. And last, and this is probably one of the biggest pet peeves, is that employee that gets the reimbursement money and goes and buys a motorcycle with it and never actually writes the check to pay the doctor off. So now a garnishment's coming in or something like that, and there's just big problems around this whole HRA idea. Well, the 4 steps that I showed before, you're seeing how we take those out of the process, and it's all happening in the background. Okay, so I have a poll number 3, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Are those the same reluctances that you've seen out in the field if you've ever talked about HRAs? Okay, I'll close that out, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. Our system is broken. It's broken mostly, in my opinion, because the free market has never been allowed to truly function. If we had transparency in pricing and a couple of other great ideas that smarter people than me have thought of, we could fix this whole thing overnight. But that's just not the way. So what do? What BENEFITPlus does is we help set up, and in this instance, we're going to have a $1,000 current plan. We put a gap in place underneath a fully insured, high-deductible health plan. When we do this, we're accomplishing something that's huge. One, we have huge savings in premium. And secondly, everything that happens underneath that HDHT plan is deductible credit. And that is really a big deal. You get somebody who has a really bad year, very sick, there is a point in the future where they won't have any out-of-pocket expenses. That plan will reach its out-of-pocket maximum. And it's no more cost to the plan for the rest of the year. So, again, we have base plan underneath, whatever it is that we're going to have, in this case, $1,000 out-of-pocket maximum. We have a gap in place that's administered by a good TPA, and I have great partnerships out there if you don't have one already. Administer that gap to make that plan happen as if it were a regular, fully insured plan. And when that's all said and done, we have taken back control of the pocketbook and of a very important golden handcuff for the employer. One of my last slides, and this is kind of big. We're not a fly-by-night operation. Better Business Bureau accredited. And I would love to talk with any of you offline and help you on a specific case-by-case basis. This is about helping you write more business. Now, I'm going to cover a couple of common questions that have come up in the past webinars that we've done. First, how does it work? Well, I've shown you the 1, 2, 3, 4, but specifically, I'm going to show you an actual plan. This was a company in Kansas City that had a $1,500 deductible, 3-time deductible for family, $3,500 co-insurance amount. So we're talking $5,000 individual and $12,500 out of pocket maximum for a family. And that's a huge burden. We dropped that down to $3,500, $7,000. So not quite, but pretty close to cutting it down. And in the process, we saved this company significant dollars, both for the employer and the employees. We took the gross cost from $8,800 to $5,800. This is underwritten. It's at 13.9% underwriting. And you know what? Let me go back one more thing. The premium for the plan, and you can see the plan design. Assurant has a really cool plan design where they'll allow one-time deductible for the family. So you think about it. In this situation, I have 4 people that whenever they have a claim, it's actually $3,500 less risk to the employer because of the way things are set up. And hopefully we'll drive more families to the plan because we have saved them so much money, and we have a larger group, more premium and commissions for you, and a happier employer because he has lower costs and happy employees. This is pretty significant too. These numbers I'm taking the employee family and I'm dropping their cost. And you can hardly see it straight out, but I'm dropping their cost by $511 a month. So think about the conversations you've had over the past few years where you've gone in a little bit hat in hand saying we've lowered your benefits and we've increased your rates again. And they're mad and you get them to sign the paperwork and they leave. Well, now you get to increase their benefits and lower their rates. And you know what? I don't have to spend all $500 of that, Mr. Employee. But you remember that cancer plan I wanted to show you last year and you couldn't afford it? Well, I just found $500 you didn't know you had. That's an entirely different enrollment for you. So, that last question was, I already have HRAs, why do I need you? There's a couple of very big reasons why BENEFITPlus is a help to you, even a seasoned veteran of the field. We're simple to use. We're freeing up your time to do more of what helps you make money. And that's picking up the phone, going and seeing people, and not just typing in numbers on a keyboard or what have you. Our proposal is concise and easy to read. We're agile. Yesterday, I totally rewrote my software for a guy in Kansas City who had a great idea. And on our enrollment form, what I just showed you with those numbers, the column to the right of that was showing their current plan so they could do a comparison to what they used to have. He wanted me to have out-of-pocket network results. So it actually ended up being a better piece by doing that. And we did that on the phone. It took all of an hour on the phone to rewrite that with him, and I talked. Biggie is I don't take a commission split. You don't pay me for my services. I pay you. And getting commissions in the amount of maybe 40 to 65% of what you would make in a commission from the group anyway, helping you make more money and freeing dollars up so you can sell much higher commissionable products in that group. Now, one more thing to show you is our commissions. And so you can see here is $1,550. That's per employee per month. And that's what my rates are based off of. Half of that goes to the field to pay you. A good portion of that goes to administration for me to pay for everything to happen. So I'm making the least amount on this deal, but that's the important thing is I'm helping you make a good sale, and you can make significant dollars with me in the process, as much as $6.20 per employee per month, and then 10% of my fee goes to the bonus pool. So if you qualify for bonus, there's a significant pool of money that could be paid out on a quarterly basis to you. And I do have a fast start bonus. So if you have opened 3 groups in your first 3 months of contract, and your employee count, your employee under contract is what that stands for, is 50 or more, then I'm going to give you an additional 50 count, which would take you from 25% commission to 50. And that's not a significant doubling of commissions just for doing your job. So I'm going to stop the recording now and open